Hi, I'm Nishaat. I am a project manager at the City of Detroit's Office of Sustainability, and I'm excited to tell you about what we're doing in the city along the lines of sustainability and renewable energy and biking and all that kind of fun stuff. I became interested in this type of work because as I learned about all the different problems that we're facing as a planet, like dirty air, dirty water, hotter weather, flooding, all different kinds of problems, that these are really important and they're going to affect the whole planet and everyone for generations to come. So what's also great about these problems is that in order to find solutions for them, to fix them, it's going to take everyone working together. It's going to take all different kinds of professions. It's not just a sustainability or a green person who's going to be responsible for fixing this. It's going to take everybody. Fixing these problems looks like planning ahead to make sure you're not using more resources than you need. It means cleaning up our water and our air. So how do we put less pollution into it, and how do we make sure that everyone has access to clean water and clean air? It also looks like trying out new stuff, new technology. Where else can we get our energy from? How else? What are different ways that we can get around a city other than cars that are putting a lot of pollution into the air? So it's fun. A lot of the problem solving is fun. So some of these new ideas include different ways that we can get our energy, right? So we're used to using fossil fuels, like to fuel our cars and to fuel our homes, but something that's new and new technology out there is solar panels, getting energy, even geothermal energy from the earth below our feet. Wind energy. These are things that weren't around a long time ago, so everyone who's using them now had to be educated on how to use them, how to implement them, how do we build them, how do we take care of them. That's all information that's new to a lot of people. One of the other challenges that we face is how do we get people to move around better or more efficiently in a more green way. So we like to think that a lot of our metro area is built for cars, which it certainly is. A lot of cities are built for cars, but since we know that biking is an easier way to get around, buses, public buses, and even trains are also a great greener way to get around. One thing that cities can expect in the future is having to react to more extreme weather. So a lot of the coasts in our country are going to be hit with bigger, stronger hurricanes. Even here in the metro area, we're going to get a lot of rain, a lot more intense rain, so a lot more rain falling in a shorter period of time. And a lot of our existing infrastructure, like our pipes and our roads and our drains and that kind of stuff, isn't necessarily built for that. It was built over 50, 60 years ago when rain just looked different. And in the future, we know that it's going to be changing a lot. So what cities have to do now is take a look at all those pipes, all the drainage, all the trees, take a look at where water falls and flows in the city and try to manage it so it doesn't cause flooding in our streets, flooding in basements, flooding that comes up to people's homes and leaves 6 inches of water in their homes. So that's a big challenge. One of the other challenges that we're dealing with is in our city, there's a lot of pollution that's been around for a long time. And then pollution was put there a long time ago, back before we had important agencies like the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, who can tell companies and polluters of all kinds, hey, you can't do that. So before they were around, we had a lot of industrial processes going on, a lot of manufacturing, and that just put a lot of pollutants, a lot of bad stuff into our soil, into our water. And there are still some processes, like industries out there that do pollute. And one of the problems that we're facing is there are some communities in our city, especially in Detroit, that bear the brunt of that more than others. So part of our job at the city is to help elevate those voices, is to help let people at the EPA and around the state and around the country know that these are our neighbors who are more than us being affected by this pollution. So it's our job to tell other people about that and to get the decision makers involved and to tell them you have to fix this because people are suffering because of it. There are a number of things we can do at home to make our communities more sustainable. And one of those things is really thinking about what we're bringing into our home and what goes out of our home. So reducing the things that we purchase. Do we really need to buy a new pair of jeans, or can you mend the ones that you already have? Is it just a small thing that's wrong with them that can be fixed, or do you need to go out and buy a whole new pair? Something else is recycling, so making sure that we know what we can recycle in our home, and making sure that we put the right materials into our recycling bins. Another thing we can do is look at, watch how much water and electricity we use. So our wastewater treatment plants put in a lot of resources and energy to make sure that we have clean water to drink coming out of the tap. So we don't want to waste it because it is a very precious resource. Things like unplugging our cell phone chargers when they're done being charged, unplugging our computer chargers when they're done being charged, and adjusting our thermostats can do a lot too. So maybe bringing the temperature a little bit higher in the summertime and maybe just wear a t-shirt instead of wearing extra layers. And in the wintertime, you can put on your cozy sweater and socks and turn the temperature down a little bit so your furnace and your air conditioner don't have to work as hard to make you comfortable. Another great thing is just talking to your parents, talking to your family and your friends about different ways that they can also be more sustainable. Talking to our family and friends about different ways that we can be sustainable really makes people feel more comfortable, and maybe you can do some education and tell people around you what they can do. If I were to build a brand new city, then I think one thing that would be great as far as lots of water or other extreme weather events, one thing I would take into account is being able to control a lot of water. So if a lot of water is dumped onto the city at once, where do we want it to go? How are we going to keep our pipes and our drains and infrastructure like that from being overwhelmed? In 50 years, I hope that cities will be a place that really supports the people living in them. A city should be able to have its residents be healthy and thriving. So they should be breathing clean air, they should be drinking clean water, and they should have access to the jobs that they need to better themselves and their families. Cities should also provide affordable homes for everyone living in the city. Additionally, a city in 50 years should be clean and it should be connected. So everyone who lives in the city should be able to recycle what they need to recycle, even compost their waste that they can compost. And it should be connected both digitally and transportation-wise. And then last, I think cities in 50 years should be both equitable and green. So green means they should be lush and green. They should have lots of trees because trees do so much for a city. They should have rain gardens where they need to be. And they should be equitable, meaning everyone who's in the city living there should have the tools and the ability to achieve their dreams.